Bill, the only thing I can say is I saw a lot of people cry. Do I believe that's the way it should have ended? I might have done it differently. I think it might have been better for everyone had it ended differently. But you and I have been in the business for a while, and I guess the unwritten rule is when you're going out, you're going down. So I guess the only thing I can say is they did what they had to do, what's best for business. I think Gunther and Cena put on a tremendous show. I think the match was outstanding. There were a few slow spots in there for a while, and then that match picked right up with a stop and go. There were several areas there where I was amazed that both men were still on their feet. That's how good that match was.
I'm actually mildly disappointed. I thought it would be so much longer.
John Cena Sr., the father of WWE legend John Cena, has officially broken his silence regarding his son's recent loss in his final match at Saturday night's main event. And folks, he's not holding back. John Cena Sr. has sent a clear warning message to WWE and Triple H over John Cena's controversial loss. His father declared, "I'm not happy with my son's loss. WWE is scripted, and they told my son to lose. My son would choose to pass out, but not tap out."
My dear friends, around about 36 hours removed from John Cena properly retiring from WWE, the internet is melting down. I'm sure you've seen all the clips from post-Saturday night's main event when the fans who were like there booing Triple H are going absolutely crazy. Now, personally, I enjoy it when these kind of in-storyline controversial things happen because it just gives us so much to talk about, which brings me to today's video, which asks the simple question, did WWE get this wrong?
I love the question. You enjoying the show? All part of the show, man.
This exclusive revelation has sent shockwaves through the WWE universe. Stay tuned as we break down everything John Cena Sr. said, the controversy surrounding the match finish, and what this means for WWE's decision-making. Let's set the stage. December 13th, 2025. Saturday night's main event. Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. The entire WWE universe gathered to witness history, John Cena's final match.
It all came at the hands of the ring general Gunther, who basked in the shock and awe of what he had done. Now, Gunther turns his attention back to Monday Night Raw and to his next task at hand. What will Gunther say and do in his first appearance since retiring the GOAT?
After defeating LA Knight in the Last Time Is Now tournament, Gunther promised he would make Cena tap out. And after a grueling 24-minute battle, that's exactly what happened. Gunther locked in a sleeper hold, and for the first time in his legendary career finale, John Cena tapped out. The crowd was stunned. Tears flowed throughout the arena. Fans booed. Social media exploded with criticism directed at Triple H for this booking decision. But nobody was more upset than John Cena's own father, John Cena Sr.
There's no way for people to understand that in the moment, but you do what is right for the business. You do what is right for this industry. John has done that his entire career, and I'm going to do that my entire career. I will do what I believe is right for this business. It just is what it is, and I understand that stuff for people to understand, but it's part of what we do. That is the role we have chosen.
Was there ever even a question in your mind that this would be what the end looked like? It feels very Cena for it to be this way.
Yeah, I mean, that is, if you were to say what will Cena do on his way out, take the emotion out of it and ask people what would John Cena do? And I'm talking about the character, his entire career. Sum that all up and say, what would he do on the way out? Right? If we want to talk behind the scenes, he will put over somebody on the way out. He will leave this better than he found it. He will go into the ring and he will make somebody on his way out. That's what John does. It's what John has always done. And I know people will criticize this. I think people will look at it. People will talk about this moment right here. I've got big shows. I'm good with it.
In an exclusive interview with wrestling journalist Bill Apter, John Cena Sr. did not hold back his feelings. Listen to what he said. "The only thing I can say is that I saw a lot of people cry. Do I believe that's the way it should have ended? I would have done it differently. I think it might have been better for everyone if it had ended differently."
The only thing I can say is I saw a lot of people cry. Do I believe that's the way it should have ended? I might have done it differently. I think it might have been better for everyone had it ended.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Cena Sr. acknowledged the wrestling tradition, the unwritten rule that when you're going out, you go down. He said, "The unwritten rule is that when you're going out, you're going down. So I guess all I can say is they did what they had to do, what was best for business."
The unwritten rule is when you're going out, you're going down. So I guess the only thing I can say is they did what they had to do, what's best for business.
However, and this is crucial, John Cena Sr. made it crystal clear that the tap-out was the problem. He stated he would have expected his son to pass out from the hold, not tap out. He wanted Gunther to still win, but through Cena losing consciousness and being unable to answer a 10 count, not by submission. Cena Sr. even questioned whether it was truly a tap-out, suggesting it might have been a last effort to break the hold. This reveals something significant. Even Cena's own father thought the finish looked questionable.
John Cena tapped out! What the hell? Cena just tapped out!
Now let's talk about wrestling tradition. John Cena Sr. mentioned the unwritten rule. When you retire, you put it over the next generation. This has been a wrestling protocol for decades. Think about it. Ric Flair lost his retirement match to Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels lost to The Undertaker. Edge lost his final match. It's about passing the torch. Bill Apter, the legendary wrestling journalist, even compared this moment to Bruno Sammartino losing his championship to Ivan Koloff back in 1971 at Madison Square Garden. Apter said there were barely any dry eyes in the house, just like at Cena's retirement match.
Do you want to quit?
No.
$19,000 fans are in shock. John Cena has tapped out. It's been over 20 years since that man has tapped out. This is not the way that anyone wanted this legendary career to end.
But here's the key difference. There's losing with dignity, and there's losing by tapping out. For a character like John Cena, who built his entire legacy on never give up, tapping out feels like a betrayal of everything he represented for 23 years. So why does the tap out matter so much? Let me break this down for you. John Cena's entire WWE persona was built on resilience, determination, and never giving up. For 2 decades, fans watched Cena overcome impossible odds. The tap-out symbolizes surrender, something Cena's character never represented. Cena Sr. proposed an alternative finish. Gunther could have won by making Cena pass out from the sleeper hold. Gunther would still be the winner. He would still look dominant. But Cena would preserve his legacy by going out unconscious, still fighting until the very end, unable to continue but never surrendering. This is what Cena Sr. meant when he said, "I think it might have been better for everyone if it had ended differently." He's not upset that his son lost. He's upset about how he lost.
I think it might have been better for everyone had it ended differently. But you and I have been in the business for a while, and I guess the unwritten rule is when you're going out, you're going down. So I guess the only thing I can say is they did what they had to do, what's best for business.
And honestly, looking at the fan reaction, the tears, the boos, the social media backlash, it seems like a lot of people agree with him. The WWE Universe has been vocal about their feelings. Social media exploded with criticism directed at Triple H and WWE's creative team. Fans posted videos of themselves crying. They expressed frustration and disappointment. Many echoed Cena Sr.'s sentiments. They understood Cena needed to lose, but the tap-out felt wrong. Even during the show, fans at Capital One Arena made their displeasure known. Boos rang out. The post-show atmosphere was somber. Cena Sr. himself noted this, saying, "It's kind of sad to see a lot of people cry. In the business, I don't know how you feel, but in the business, I would think you'd want to send him home happy."
It's kind of sad to see a lot of people cry. It's in the business, and I don't know how you feel, but in the business, I would think you'd want to send him home happy.
Cena Sr. even suggested that while Gunther did an excellent job, there might have been better opponents for Cena's final match. He said, "As good as Gunther is, I think there could have been somebody else in that spot."
they need to elevate him to the position that he's been elevated to right now. You took a look at some of those new NXT individuals right there, and I'll tell you, unbelievable.
I will tell you that Obafemi is in a heel role. He would be so fearful. The fans, he would be a heel that the fans would be afraid of, and that you haven't seen that in ages.
I am 100% done. December 2025 is the last time I will perform in a ring. I will still be part of the WWE family as an ambassador, but the time has come to close the physical performing chapter of my life, and I'm at peace with it, which is why 2025 is going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be sad, but that's it.
Is John Cena really the greatest of all time? Why should I believe that? Why would anybody believe that? I ain't buying it.
In Indianapolis, I'm going to show up and bring the best that I have.
If John Cena wants his retirement with an exclamation point on it, I'm going to retire John Cena.
I believe Brock Lesnar when he says he wants to end the tour early.
I'm going to retire John Cena. And that's exactly what's going to happen at WrestlePalooza.
Wrestling icon John Cena has made a definitive statement about his retirement, confirming that his legendary career will come to an end tonight, December 13th, 2025, at Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. The 17-time world champion, who has dominated WWE for over 2 decades, will face Gunther in what he's calling his absolute final match. And this time, Cena insists there will be no comebacks. Stay with us as we break down this historic moment in WWE history.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, the last real champion, John Cena!
John Cena dropped the bombshell during his appearance on the Pat McAfee show, leaving no room for doubt about his intentions. In his own words, Cena stated, "This is it. I'm not coming back. December 13th is my last match in the ring. WrestleManias will come and go, and I will not be active."
The Last Time Is Now tour, though, whenever you sign up for it, that's a big emotional decision, I would assume. You know, chapter of your life, hey, we're actually declaring this is going to be the last run. Now that we're at the end.
We talked about that too. This is it. I mean, tomorrow night, this is it. I am not coming back, and I understand. You only have the data before me that you go on. No wrestler retires, right? That changes with me. Whether it all changes and everybody else after me current retires and decides not to come back, that's fine. What I urge fans out there, please watch tomorrow and give yourself the closure that you need.
This statement puts to rest years of speculation about potential future returns. Unlike other WWE legends who've retired only to make comebacks, Cena is drawing a definitive line in the sand. The match will take place at the Capital One Arena and has already broken records, achieving the highest gate for an arena-sized building in professional wrestling history. WWE's official Twitter account commemorated the moment with tributes pouring in from fans and fellow wrestlers alike.
Tonight, I officially announce my retirement from the WWE.
John Cena's journey to this final moment has been nothing short of extraordinary. In the 8,570 days since his 2002 debut, Cena has become one of wrestling's most bankable stars. His impact goes far beyond his 17 world championship titles and iconic "You Can't See Me" catchphrase. Wrestling expert Brandon Thurston notes that Cena was WWE's most important economic wrestler from 2005 to 2015, leading in pay-per-view buys, TV ratings, and merchandise sales. The physical toll has been severe. Cena has undergone multiple operations on his neck, pec, and triceps. In recent interviews, he's been candid about the cost of his career, saying his body hurts and is screaming to close the chapter. The 48-year-old's 2025 retirement tour has taken him around the world, with emotional receptions at every stop. He's faced old rivals like AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and CM Punk, while also elevating newer stars like Dominic Mysterio and, of course, his final opponent, Gunther. Gunther earned the right to face Cena by winning the Last Time Is Now tournament, where 16 wrestling giants competed for this historic opportunity. The Ring General, as Gunther is known, has never faced Cena before, making this matchup even more special. He's been delivering tough talk in the lead-up, embracing his role as the man who will end Cena's career. Cena himself confirmed on the Pat McAfee show that his match will close the evening, saying, "I was on Jimmy Kimmel, and I said I'm ending the show. I normally go to bed early, but I'm going to have to stay up late for this one. We are last as of this point."
I was on Jimmy Kimmel. I said I'm ending the show. I said I normally go to bed early, but I'm going to have to stay up late for this one. I guess people didn't read between the tea leaves. Like, we're last.
The match has no time limit, streaming on Peacock in the US, Netflix internationally, and free on WWE's official YouTube channel in the UK. This ensures fans worldwide can witness this historic moment. John Cena's legacy extends far beyond championship belts and main events. He holds the Guinness World Record for most wishes granted through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, over 650 fulfilled wishes for children with critical illnesses. A partnership that started by accident in 2002 has become what Cena calls the coolest thing about his career.
You're at that point in the match. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. John Cena, are you kidding me? Cena!
Dr. Gillian Brooks, associate professor at King's Business School, explains Cena's unique appeal. He's not a one-show pony. He's doing charity work, written children's books, been in films, made music. It's coming across in a way that's very authentic and pure to who he is. From his never give up motto to his transition into Hollywood, Cena has built a personal brand that transcends wrestling. He's become the face of Neutrogena's sunscreen campaign after revealing his own battle with skin cancer, and continues to work with major brands while maintaining authenticity.
Oh, man. Miss you. What do you say, Stu? Let's go to work. Yeah, man.
Cena's career has seen remarkable evolution. He transformed from a ruthless aggression rookie to the Doctor of Thugonomics rapper, and eventually into the heroic figure defined by never give up. Not everyone was always on board. Through the years, some fans chanted, "You can't wrestle," but Cena thrived regardless. As wrestling fan Sabrina Nicole, 37, puts it, "No matter what the crowd, no matter what the fans have thought of him, he has just been the testament to if you have a really good character, you can be on top." The key was always the reaction. Love him or hate him, Cena always got a response. And in professional wrestling, that's everything.
Objectively, he is without a doubt the greatest of all time. And it is my honor to bring him out here now for you all. On your feet, ladies and gentlemen, for your hometown hero, for the one, for the only, the greatest of all time, John Cena!
My real name is John Felix Anthony Cena Jr. For 25 years, you all have been on my side, and on the final day of my career,
I want to say thank you for everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the greatest of all time, the never seen 70. He is the last real champion, John Cena.
Everything you keep coming back to with all of this is just like, you love wrestling. Is that what led you to sign with AEW?
Yes. Also the idea of wanting to try something new. I had watched Cody wrestle Penta. Cody did this top rope Frankenstein on Penta. I was like, is that what you have to do? Like, and part of it is scary and part of it is like intriguing. Like, oh, can I do this? I used to be able to do this style. Can I still do this style? I didn't know if WWE was going to start doing the live events and stuff again. At that point, I'd had 2 kids and I was like, I don't want to do that schedule. At AEW, it's just Wednesdays at the time. That was a very appealing schedule to me for my family.
Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon himself, has finally opened up about why he walked away from WWE to join AEW, and his reasons might shock you. In a bombshell interview with Chris Van Vliet, Danielson didn't hold back. He revealed the emotional moment that changed everything, the schedule that was breaking him down, and why AEW's approach won him over completely.
I don't know how many of you are married or have kids, but when you're married and you have kids, your life becomes like a little bit tame. I love it, but it's a little bit tame. I need one part of my life that's a little bit wild, right? That like, you see these guys doing these crazy things and I'm like, oh my God, can I do that? You know what? Hell yes, I can. I don't care. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna show everybody here that what elite really looks like. This is what elite looks like. You know, Punk had come in and said like, oh, I want to help the young guys and all that kind of stuff. No, man, I'm gonna kick their fucking heads. Can I say that word?
Yeah.
Can I say
in this
that?
room you can.
Okay. Yeah.
This isn't just about one wrestler switching companies. This is about what truly matters to talent in today's wrestling industry, and it should be a massive wake-up call for WWE. Here's where everything changed for Bryan Danielson. While still under WWE contract, he watched something that would alter his entire perspective on professional wrestling.
Get that script back in!
It was AEW's tribute show for the late Brody Lee, and it hit Bryan harder than any wrestling angle ever could. In his own words, Danielson explained, "We had a wrestler, Brody Lee, who had passed away. AEW did this incredible tribute show. At that point, I was still with WWE, and the way AEW did that show, Brody was my friend. It touched something in me. But here's the part that should concern WWE." Bryan continued, "I was thinking like, oh, these are the good guys of professional wrestling." Think about the weight of that statement. One of WWE's top stars, still working for them, watched their competition and thought, these are the good guys. That's not just praise for AEW, it's a direct criticism of how WWE handles these deeply personal moments. It suggests WWE treats tragedies as content rather than honoring them with genuine respect.
I have to ask you this because it really tickles me if it's true. Is it true that when you were renegotiating with WWE to potentially stay, that Vince was going to let you do the G1?
So I don't know for sure if he would have let me. The last conversation that we had, where I told him that I was going to, because I told him I was going to go to AEW. I told him like once I make my decision, I'll tell you. And so it was around August of that year. My contract expired the last day of April of 2021.
This tribute show revealed something crucial to Bryan. AEW understood that wrestling is a brotherhood. They showed that when tragedy strikes, you honor your fallen with authenticity and love, not just another produced segment. This moment planted the seed. But there were more reasons pushing Bryan toward the exit. The second major reason Bryan left WWE, his family, plain and simple.
Early August was when I finally decided, and I called him and told him, and he kind of asked me why. And I said, well, this, that, the other, one of the things I want to do is I want to do the I want to work with New Japan and do the G1. And he did say in that moment, I don't know if it would have actually ever come to fruition, that I'd let you do that or whatever it is. And so yeah, I think Maybe.
After years of WWE's relentless schedule, the pandemic gave Bryan time to reevaluate what truly mattered. And when WWE started ramping back up to full touring, he realized he couldn't go back to that life. Here's what Bryan told Chris Van Vliet. There was also the idea at the time, the pandemic was just kind of ending and they were starting to do live shows again. I didn't know if WWE was going to start doing the live events and stuff again because of that schedule. At that point, we had 2 kids, and I was like, I don't want to do that schedule anymore.
There was also the idea at the time, the pandemic was just kind of ending, and we're starting to do live shows again. I didn't know if WWE was going to start doing the live events and stuff again, because that schedule, at that point, we had 2 kids, and I was like, I don't want to do that schedule.
The difference between WWE and AEW's schedules was staggering. Bryan explained, at AEW it's just Wednesdays. At the time it was just Wednesdays, and I was like, that was a very appealing schedule to me for my family.
Like, at AEW it's just Wednesdays. At the time it was just Wednesdays. And I was like, that was a very appealing schedule to me for my family.
Let that sink in. WWE had Bryan on the road 6 or 7 days a week, constant flights, hotels, live events, TV tapings. He was never home. AEW offered 1 day of work per week. For a father of 2 young children who wanted to actually be present for their childhood, this wasn't even a difficult decision. Bryan emphasized this point. That was a very appealing schedule to me for my family. Remember, this is also a man dealing with serious neck issues. He revealed, I have degeneration from C1 all the way down to T2. I'm on the cusp of needing surgery.
So I have degeneration from C1 all the way down to T2. So it's like cervical.
Your entire
one.
neck.
Yeah. So it's like, there's, it's like I'm on the cusp of needing surgery.
His body couldn't handle WWE's grueling pace anymore. Even the lighter AEW schedule took its toll. I was actually doing really well until I started traveling more, and then it's really gone downhill.
I was actually doing really well until I started traveling, and then it's really gone downhill. I had
WWE's schedule wasn't just inconvenient, it was physically destroying him, but it wasn't just about schedule and respect. Bryan wanted to prove something to himself about the kind of wrestler he still was. One specific moment caught his attention and wouldn't let go. Bryan described watching Cody Rhodes face Penta. I had watched Cody wrestle Penta, and I used to ride with Cody. He did this like, they're both standing on the top and Cody does this top rope Frankensteiner on Penta. Like, is that what you have to do? And part of it is scary and part of it is intriguing. Like, oh, can I do this? I used to be able to do this style. Can I still do this style?
I had watched Cody wrestle Penta and I used to ride with Cody. He did this like, they're both standing on the top and Cody did this top rope Frankenstein on Penta. I was like, is that what you have to do? Like, and part of it is scary and part of it is like intriguing. Like, oh, can I do this? I used to be able to do this style. Can I still do this style?
This was about returning to the athletic, hard-hitting style that made him fall in love with wrestling in the first place. The style AEW showcased every week. Bryan knew time was running out. I always kind of wanted to push myself. I knew it was probably the last wrestling contract I'd ever sign. I wanted to see if my body could still do some of these things.
Like, I always kind of wanted to push myself. I knew it was probably the last wrestling contract I'd ever sign. And then I also wanted to see if my body could still do some of these things.
This reveals a fundamental difference between the companies. AEW let their wrestlers truly wrestle. Fast-paced, athletic, sports-based action. WWE had more restrictions on style and presentation. For Bryan, this was about artistic fulfillment. Could he still perform at that elite level? AEW gave him the platform to find out, and the results spoke for themselves. Bryan said, by the end of my AEW run, I was better mentally at wrestling than I'd ever been.
By the end of my AEW run, I thought I was better mentally at wrestling than I'd ever been.
That's a powerful statement from someone who main evented WrestleMania and had a legendary WWE career. His peak as a wrestler came in AEW, not WWE. Perhaps nothing illustrates Bryan's fulfillment in AEW better than this revelation. His favorite career moment wasn't in WWE. It wasn't winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 30 in front of 75,000 screaming fans.